Hello everyone, Maria here from Poppy Citrus Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm coming back with a card making video. I haven't made these videos for such a long time and I really do miss making cards, so I'm going to come back to this now for the time being. Sometimes it's good to take a break from certain crafts, especially if you kind of, like in my case, I was doing that as a job, demonstrator sort of thing, and I got burnt out from it. So now that I have relaxed from that, I'm now enjoying card making again, and I'm rediscovering as well old stuff that I have in my stash. And if those of you who are new, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate it. I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, if you didn't know, and I have a ton of Stampin' Up! Product. I haven't gotten rid of them because I did choose them and like them for a reason, so I am keeping it in my stash. But I thought I'd bring out an old embossing folder called Seaside, and I love the stripes on this. It makes a really nice texture. So I'm going to use this embossing folder in my work. I'm also going to be using the Faber Castel Albrecht Durer watercolour pencils. I love these things. I've had these for years, and look at the leads. They're still in excellent condition after all these years. So I use these in lieu of, and it comes with these colours as well underneath. I use these in lieu of alcohol markers because I just think these are more economical. Because you need a mortgage basically to buy the Copic markers. If you know, they're about $10 each, so they're very expensive. But I do have a couple of Copic markers. In saying that, I've got this Copic one. It's a rectangular barrel and it's a colorless blender, and I use this nib here to blend my color. It works extremely well using just regular cardstock. So the image I'm using today is a Gerbera one. I found this on Creative Fabrica and it is a line image, and I love Gerberas, so I figured it will be nice to make a card with these images on there. These images are about 3 inches, 3.5 inches. That one's about 3 inches. This one's about maybe 2.5 inches or so. But the beauty of when you're getting things from Creative Fabrica is you can change the size. So you can use Canva, you can use Silhouette Studio, which is what I'm using, the business edition, which I've used and printed that out. You can also use Cricut, you can use whatever you like to print your images from, and even just Word document, you can use that too and put that on there and print it out. I'm going to use my brother's Scan and Cut today to cut out all of these images too, so you'll be seeing that. So what I have here is some white cardstock. I'm using Stampin' Up! Basic White. It's half an A4 and scored in half again. So I'm just now going to score the cardstock in half, and I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder. Okay, nice and simple. And then I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, which I'm going to just layer on top, and it looks like that. I think I'm going to trim off a little bit more down here because that was not trimmed properly. So you can, so I've got a bit of dust on this one. It's been that long since I've used it. So you can use whatever card you want. You can use whatever equipment you want. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I just use whatever I like, and I'm enjoying that process a lot. So there we go. I have a feeling this was not trimmed properly, but I'll do that later. Do that here now. And that's no problem. Okay. So what we're going to do to start off with is I'm going to emboss this cardstock, and that's the one that I'm going to layer on top. Very simple, no colour, I'm keeping it white. I just want to have just very simple. I like simple cards that are also have impact, because sometimes when it's too complicated they don't have good impact. So that's my opinion. I just like simple, just more striking. So I'm just dusting off my machine. I haven't used it for a long time, like months. And it's nice to get back into it again, because I had an epiphany almost. I said, oh, I miss making cards. So I'm going to make my card. That on top there. And this is a regular, is it a 3D? No, it's just a regular one, so use a regular sandwich with it, and I think it is a 3D one. It won't go through. I think that's what's happening here. So now I'm going to do this properly. So all you need is your bottom platform and the 2 plates for this particular folder. I had the number 2 there, plate, by accident. That was for your thin dies. Okay, and that's that. Finished with that. And here is, I love the texture of this. I can also do it this way too, which will look nice. I haven't decided, but the debossed is very nice. And I also like the embossed too. We'll see how that works out. So I'll pop this away, and we're going to do some colouring now. I've got a scratch piece of paper here because you still need to scratch off the colour, as you can see, otherwise it transfers to the next image. So I'm just going to fold it over to the other side. I've got a piece of paper I've folded in quarters, and so far I've used 3 of those. So now I'm going to use the other side, and then another time I'll do the other side, and then I'll get rid of this piece of paper. That's how I do that. So I'll have that here on the side and scratch off. And I've got my images here. Now, if you don't have Creative Fabrica subscription, I highly recommend it, only because you can get access to so many images. You have like 7.5 million or something like that images you have access to, and you can have line art like stamps like this. You can use them with your brother's scan and cut, or you can use your machines and do print and cut too. The choice is yours. And also when it comes to pattern paper, the sky's the limit. So I'm going to colour the stems, and I think it is quite a bright green. So I think this is close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower you down, and you'll just see me colour, and then I'll come back and we'll put this card together. So enjoy. So I've now finished colouring my images, and I'll just back you up a bit there. I decided not to go with this one, but I will stick with these for that. So what I'll do next is I will take you over to the Brothers Scan and Cut, and I'll show you how I cut all of these out, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you shortly. Everyone, so I'm here on my Brothers Scan and Cut. I thought it's more important to show you the screen and how to do it rather than an overall shot. So I'm just turning on my machine, and it's going to go and do its little things. Now I have to say I have really enjoyed using my Brothers Scan and Cut, because it's just, you scan and you cut all in the one machine, which is great. And especially for like stamped images or printed images you want to do quickly, for me this is great. So that's what I mainly use it for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the mat, and it'll just says its usual spiel, the carriage will move away. I'm just going to press OK. And now I'm just going to load my mat, and I press this button again, that's your mat button. And I'll press that, and it's loading it up. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to scan. Please excuse the noise in the background. I've got my washing going on at the moment, so I'm keeping it real here. I'm going to press direct cut. I'm going to use my machine, and I'm going to use the 12x6. I'm going to use black and white mode because I want it to cut around the images there. We'll see how it works out. So I'll press start. Just going to scan it for the first 6 inches. Okay, so it's done that. I love the Brothers Scan and Cut for card making. It's really good fun, and also I love my silhouette too. So I'm going to press OK. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to strategically put the arrows where I would like the machine to cut. So I want it to cut around, so I'll say preview, just so I can have a look and make sure that it's all there. So I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press this down a little more. Now what I want to do is cut an outline around it. So I'm going to do 0.04. I'm going to press OK. Then I'm going to press OK. And I'm going to select cut. And everything looks like it's in order. So I'll press start. Okay, it's finished cutting now, so I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to unload my mat. And it just goes through its usual spiel. When unloading the mat, position of the pattern on the mat may shift. So if you want to scan it, if you want to cut it again, you would not do this, but I'm going to get rid of it, so that's fine. And it's now ejected my mat. I'll see you back at the crafting desk, and we'll make this card. I'll see you shortly. So I'm back now from my Brothers Scan and Cut. If you had noticed during my colouring process, I used a pencil to mark the bottoms of these images, because they didn't have a line. Okay, so they didn't have a line. So with the Brothers Scan and Cut, if it doesn't have a line, it will just leave it uncut. So I had to put a line there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to rub out the pencil mark. Offset, okay. With the silhouette though, that's a different story. You don't need to do this pencil trick where you need to put the pencil mark right there and then it will cut it out. You have to have things joined together if you want to cut them out together. So I think that's it with the pencil mark. Okay, just rub this on the desk and get rid of the coloured pencil off that. And that's now done. So what I'm going to do now is just remove this from the mat. And the Scan and Cut really did a good job. This is a little bit sticky, but it's been removed. Perfect job. And now I'm just going to remove with the spatula. I find it's easier to remove with the spatula. This is not as flexible as a silhouette mat where you can go from behind. So I'm just going to carefully use my spatula and pull off my stamped images, and that's how that looks. Perfect, perfect job. You did such a good job. I also love using my Pic Scan mat too. That also works out really, really well. That's done. And like that. Isn't that great? And then we'll start making the card. Now this one's stuck quite a bit, so I'm going to go from the big one here, from the bigger part of the flower, and then slowly work my way down. Okay, that was stuck on quite a bit. That's the pink one. Did a perfect job. And I'll do the same with this one. That turned out great. So there we go. So I'll just put the protective cover over the top of this. And then we'll start making the card. That's just to stop any lint and things and dust going onto your mat and not making it as sticky. Okay, so now we'll just bring back all our images. I decided I'm not going to use this one. I'm just going to use 3 flowers. So I will arrange them in such a way that they'll make a nice card. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, I'll grab my sheet of cards, my card base. Now this card I've left blank from sentiment, but feel free to use it for things like Mother's Day, birthday, hello even, whatever you wish. Got quite a bit of dust on here. As I said, my stuff is a bit dusty. I thought it would be fun to use the debossed side. I quite like that side. So let's just have a look and see how this all works out. And then I was thinking of putting this one up here. And that pretty much takes up the whole image there, which I think is kind of cool. And then I'll just add the leaves. There and there. Like that. I think that turned out really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do is just glue all this stuff down. So I really like the layout. I'm going to fiddle around with it a little bit more. So I'll stick this down with some PVA glue. This is like the school glue or Elmer's glue if you're in the States. It works really, really well. It's nice and strong, and the secret is not to put on too much, like just put a very thin layer if you can see it, and it sticks really well and it's quite strong too. So I love PVA glue, and it's inexpensive. You can buy a ton of it very inexpensively, and it's also readily available at craft shops, at office supply stores. You know, it's very nice. It's nice and strong. I like it. But each to their own when it comes to adhesives. Hey, we all get what we think is right for us. So what I'll do here is I will see if that works out like that too. Just trying to see which is the best way to go about this. I think like that at the back will look nicer, and I'll have the pink more in front, and I'll do it like that. Yeah, okay. So I'll just add, oops, a little bit of glue just here. I'm not going to glue down all of it, but you know, just make sure it sticks up. from there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to add this to there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just right on the end here. And it looks like that. And I think that looks really, really pretty. And with the stem, that's the leaves, we can add these, let's see now, here. And like that too. Yeah, I think that looks great actually. So I'll just put a little bit of glue just on the end here and position that like that. And then this one, I'll put glue there again too. Oops, a bit too heavy on that one. And I'll make that go down. And that fits really nicely within the card. Takes up a nice lot of image there, so you don't have to fiddle around. And I like the simplicity of the background, if you can see that. Looks really, really good. So I'm just going to grab some dimensionals. I get mine from Stampin' Up, but feel free to use whatever dimensional adhesive you have. Let's see. May need to buy a new packet of adhesive. Let's see what we've got here. Nope, I can use these ones. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough adhesive for now. Okay. So I'm just going to take off all of the backings. And whilst I'm doing that, I just wanted to say I have not bought any stamps for the last 2 years. And for someone who was buying stamps regularly when I was a demonstrator and just for fun too, I had gone cold turkey, in buying stamps. I actually saved a lot of money doing this. So if money's tight, don't buy stamps you don't need. Use your retired stuff if you have it still in your collection. Sell stuff and then buy new stuff, you can do that. Or do what I do and just get a subscription to Creative Fabrica, or even, you know, other places where you can get subscriptions for digital images. Print those. They look like they're stamped images, so they're no different. The only difference is you're using a computer and you're not mucking around with impressions not working out, and then you have to do them again and again. This just works out great. So for me, I've saved a ton of money with a subscription from Creative Fabrica. It's less than a stamp set in a lot of cases. So you know, I think that when times are tough, you're better off just doing something like that. I ripped off the little piece there. Oops. So I've reattached it on with some glue. Now I'm just going to clean. I've got a lot of dust in my embossing sheet there for some unknown reason. But it's, you know, I haven't used my card making things in quite some time. Now I'm enjoying it again, so it's fun. So what I'm going to do now is just attach this in the middle. And here is my finished card. So this is one way of using mixed media. Now these are sticking up in the air, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them down, sort of 3/4 of the way down, just a little blob of glue, not even squeezing it much, and then down it goes. And that way they're more attached to the end of the card. Now I'm leaving this card open. This can be used for anything. Thank you. It can be used for Christmas, not Christmas. Thank you, Mother's Day, birthday, whatever you like. The choice is yours. So there it is. I hope you like it, and I love the texture around it. Feel free to use whatever dimensions you like when it comes to your stamps. Use stamps you already have, or you can, you know, size them up or down in your computer program, nice and easy. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my revisiting my card making crafting again. It's been a long time, and taking a break from things sometimes works out really, really well. I'm enjoying it again. It took me a long time to kind of detox from things for myself. This is my own, you know, issues. Everyone's got their bits and pieces, but card making didn't give me much joy for quite some time, and then I had a break from it, and now I'm loving it again. So it's amazing how things turn around, you know, with time. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm not sure what kind of crafting I'll do in the next video, but I am enjoying exploring different kinds of crafting. It has been so much fun. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Bye for now.